everyone, Joy from Sunday Sounds here. Let's take a look at our patch, designed in the style of Unstoppable God, as originally performed by Elevation Worship. We play this song in its original key of B and at its original tempo of 132 BPM. For this song we have a couple left-hand ranges. The lower left-hand range is here with the synth pad. The upper left-hand range is here with the piano and some chord triggers. For this song, you'll play some single notes in the different ranges, and sometimes you'll play octaves for the left hand, so you'll have both the synth pad and the piano in. Right hand will be doing some different melodic riffs. You won't be playing anything for the intro, which goes through the progression 4 times, and then you'll come in on the first half of verse 1. So you'll begin this song playing halfway through verse 1. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, so here's how you'll play that. The mod wheel starts here at 0, and you'll come in the second half of the verse. You're going to play the left-hand single notes down here in this lower octave, so you'll hear just the synth pad. So here's the left hand. So the rhythm here is syncopated, so I'll count out loud as I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The right hand will be playing this part. One more time, hands together. So at the end of the verse on the final chord, you'll increase the mod wheel up 1/3 as you transition into the chorus. So you'll hold that last chord for a total of 8 counts. I'll show you that transition one more time. After our first verse, we're going to move into our first chorus. Here's what chorus 1 sounds like. So here's how you'll play that. The mod wheel is now 1/3 of the way up here. And you're still playing in the lower left-hand range, no right hand for this first chorus. The rhythm is super important for the arps to line up and for you to lock in with the bass. So the timing is not the same for every chord. Going from chord 1 to 2 is syncopated, and going from chord 3 to 4 is not. I'll go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So directly after our first chorus, we'll have our second verse, and here's what verse 2 sounds like. So here's how to play that. You'll play the first 3 chords here at 1/3 of the way up with single notes right here in the upper left-hand range. And then you'll move the mod wheel to 0 and play octaves. So here's how this goes. Right hand plays the same riff as before. Since it starts halfway through that first progression, it begins with the second half of the riff. So I'll show you starting with the left hand chords and then just play the right hand part after that. I'll play the first part of the verse one more time so you can see how that works with the mod wheel. Then at the end of the verse, just like in verse 1, you'll hold and fade up the mod wheel to 1/3 of the way up as you move into chorus 2. After verse 2, we'll play our chorus 2. Here's what that sounds like. Okay, so here's how to play that. So you'll start the chorus with the mod wheel 1/3 of the way up, and you'll play that same progression. This time you have octaves in the left hand. Right hand plays a different line that goes like this. I'll play this together the second time through the chorus going into the instrumental so you can hear again what the transition sounds like. So after chorus 2, we'll move into our instrumental that comes right before the bridge, and this instrumental is the same chord progression as the bridge, so I'll show you leading right into that. So here's how you'll play that. You'll have the mod wheel 1/3 of the way up from the chorus. On the downbeat of the instrumental, you'll play an octave on your 1 chord, and then you'll nudge the mod wheel up to 2/3 so it brings in the bridge arps. You're going to go ahead and hold the first note for 6 beats and then bring in the second note on beat 7 and 8. Make sure that you go down to play the second note. So the bridge comes right after the instrumental and it's the same progression. Here's what the bridge sounds like. Okay, so here's how you'll play the bridge. Your mod wheel starts at 2/3 of the way up, right here, and you'll play through the bridge progression with the left hand in that upper octave range, same as the instrumental. You'll want to move the mod wheel up slowly so it's just under 100. And that way when you get to the instrumental after the bridge, you can bump it up to 100. I like to leave the mod wheel where it is for the first 2 times and then start bringing it up a little bit more for time 3 and the rest of the way for time 4. Okay, then we have another instrumental after this progression, and it's going to be in the same progression as the bridge. Here's what this sounds like. So here's how you'll play that. You'll have the mod wheel all the way up at 100. Left hand is the same in this upper octave range, and then right hand has a different line to play up high. So that looks like this. I'll do it together one last time. So after that instrumental, we will play our final chorus. Here's what this chorus sounds like. So the way you play this is you'll leave the mod wheel here at 100 for this final chorus, just like the instrumental that we just played after the bridge. This time you'll play these low octave single bass notes, and you'll do the same right hand part as before. After this final big chorus, we're going to have one more instrumental. Here's what that sounds like. So here's how you'll play that. You still have your mod wheel here at 100 from the chorus that came before it. This time you're playing octaves. Instead of the single notes down here, you're playing the full octaves to bring in those extra arps. And if you're doing this song exactly like the album, you'll end on the 6th chord and let the arps play and then pull it off while the drums do a little outro. Okay, so just to recap the mod wheel positions in this song, when the mod wheel is at 0, you'll start playing halfway through verse 1, you won't play on the intro. And then you'll also play verse 2 at this position. Just remember for verse 2, you play the first 3 notes at 1/3 of the way up before moving it back to 0, and then back up to 1/3 for the next chorus. You'll have the mod wheel at 1/3 of the way up for chorus 1 and 2, as well as the start of verse 2. Then you'll have the mod wheel 2/3 of the way up for the instrumental that comes right before the bridge, as well as the bridge, and then you'll slowly nudge that up while you play. And finally, at 100, you'll have the instrumental that comes right after the bridge, as well as your final big chorus and the instrumental that comes right after that chorus at the end of the song. Now, before I let you go, I wanted to let you know that there's a Facebook group called Sunday Sounds Insiders, where you can find exclusive tutorials, song patch polls, giveaways, sound design tips, and it would be awesome to see you in there. Until then, I'm Joy with Sunday Sounds. See you next time.